Hi to my favourite people. I hope you had a really good week. Just let me know if you have any injury concerns or pregnancies. Shoot me a message before you start this. If not, let's get tucked into some half an hour of torture with Amplified Pilates. So I just want you standing up on your mat, and I want you to just take a second to just ground yourself, breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, I want you to take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Breathing in here. And as you breathe out, take your left ear over to your left shoulder. We'll go again the other direction. And if you want to even make this stretch even more delicious, put your hand, your left hand out and flex it. And you should feel a nice stretch down the left side. We'll go again to the others. Extend that right hand and flex those fingers towards you. Just start adding in some half rolls, so rolling to one side, to the other side. And starting to nod that chin into your chest. And if it feels good, you can roll around in one direction and then go again in the other direction. Do a couple more of those. And I want you to join me at the end of your mat, so the rest of your mat is facing forward. And I want to make your arms really nice and heavy in front of you. Your feet are hip width apart. Nod your chin to your chest and then slowly roll down towards the ground. As we're just warming up, just go as far as you can. And if you need to add a little bit of bend to your knees, that's totally fine too. Let's go again, tucking our chin to our chest. Making those arms nice and heavy and trying to touch the ground. And once you get here, just bend and stretch opposite leg to wake up the back of your legs. And then rolling slowly up, stacking each vertebra on top of each other, rolling your shoulders back, and your head comes last. Give me a couple of shoulder rolls here. Sorry, I'm just out of the camera. We're going to go again. We're going to roll down. And once you get to the ground, you can bend your knees as much as possible. And I want you to walk out to a high plank so that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your hips are shining towards the ground. And then walk back up towards your feet. And when you get there, walking on back out. So tucking your pelvis down underneath you, really pushing away with the heels of your hands and walking back up. I want you to walk now into a pike position. So you're making a triangle shape with your legs and your arms, and I want you to push the weight of your heels of your hands down and look between your feet. And you can pedal your legs too if that feels good. Stretching those calf muscles. And then if it feels accessible for you, I want you to walk your feet up towards your hands, nice and slowly. And when you get to the top of your mat, sit down for me. And then roll back down. We're going to start with some simple glute bridges. So I want you on your backs and your feet are towards your bum. I want you to push the palms of your hands into the ground and then lift up your hips towards the ceiling and then lowering back down. Let's go again. We push our hips towards the ceiling. Try to imagine that there's two beam lights coming out of each hip bone. and then rolling back down. Let's go with a few more of these. Just waking up that back of the body. Excellent. The next time we lift up, I want you to raise the heels off the ground, lower down, and then peel back. We go again. We lift up, we raise our heels, we lower, and we come back down. The next time we lift up, we're just going to go with the heel raises. So we raise up for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, lowering those heels down and peeling back. Let's go for one more of these. We lift up, we raise our heels for 5, for 4, keeping those hip bones to the ceiling. Last one, and rolling back down. This time we roll up. I want you to imagine there's a cushion in between your knees and you're really pushing on it. So your knees are concaving towards each other but not touching each other. I want you to hold this for 5 more seconds and release that squeeze. We go again, squeezing that cushion, really squeezing our butt muscles and shining our hips towards the ceiling. You've got this for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and lowering back down. I want you now to bring your right leg into tabletop. You're going to push up into that glute bridge, to a single leg glute bridge. And if this is comfy enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, straighten that top leg. And then I want you to bring that toe down towards the ground and then back up to straight. Like you're painting a wall in front of you and there's a big paintbrush between your big toe and the next toe. And coming back to tabletop, lowering down. You can rest here or you can stay up here with me, putting that left leg into tabletop, straightening it up, and then lowering that toe down and then back up. But you want your hips to stay in the same position the entire time. Coming back to tabletop and then going again with the right leg. We point up, we lower down, we lower up and down, up, one more, into tabletop and back. Last one on the left, it points up. We go down, up, down, keeping those hips high. Last one, and back. You can roll all the way down. You can bring your knees into your chest if you like, and then just give it a little bit of a rock. We're going to go into some dead bugs here. So I want you to bring your knees into tabletop, so your knees are over your hips, and then your hands are going to be out in front of you, your fingertips pointing towards the ceiling. I want you first of all to take your left hand back and then come back to the start. Let's go with the right. So really extend those fingertips away from you. So you can stay here if you like. Otherwise, when we bring our left hand back, we're going to bring our right leg down towards the ground, straightening it out, and then coming back. Let's go with the right. So I want you to make this really nice and slow and controlled. And focusing on pushing your lower waistband into the ground. If it starts to lift, just don't go as far. You can always go to a 45 instead of all the way down. Let's go for 2 more on each side here. Really spreading those fingertips and toe tips away from each other. Last one on the left. And the right. And then bringing your knees into your chest, give it a little bit of a rock here. All right, we're going to go now with some toe taps. So you can keep your head on the ground at this stage, but I want you back with your legs into tabletop, and then you're going to put your left foot down onto the ground and then bring it back up. We go with the right. So the position of our knee and our foot should remain the same the entire time, We're just hinging from the hip. And like before, I want you to squish that lower waistband into the ground as you lower that leg. Now, if you want to come with me, I'm going to crunch my upper body up. So I'm going to look towards my belly button and then go with the same movement. So my hands are behind my head and I'm looking down towards my belly button and my chin is into my chest, so there's no neck strain here. All right, go for a couple more here. And if you want, I'm going to now lower both legs down and then back up. So again, if this is too much on your lower back, you don't have to go as low. But if you really want to push yourself, see if you can push that lower back into the ground as you touch your feet onto the ground. Beautiful. Let's go for 3 more here. Nice and slow. Really tucking up and crunching. And then put your feet back on the ground. And you can give yourself a little bit of a hip circle here. So one knee drops to the side, one knee drops to the other. All right, I want you to come up now and put your forearms on the ground and tuck your chin into your chest. So you're really pushing through with the palms of your hands and your forearms. I want you to bring your legs into tabletop, and you can stay here today, otherwise straighten your legs up, and I want you to windmill them. So the left is going to go in front of the right, and then you're going to swap and swap. I want you to keep that chin into your chest, you're looking through your thighs, and you're really pointing those toes to make them really long as you windmill them. You can stay here today, but if you want, you can windmill them down to that 45-degree angle and back. And if this is too much, you can always rest your head onto the ground. Let's go again. Really trying to keep those legs nice and straight. We're wheeling all the way back up. And lowering down. All right, the next move we're going to do is called the rollover. So if people are struggling with putting their legs behind their heads, pop a cushion underneath your butt, and that will help you get a bit of leverage in the movement. If not, I want you to lie all the way back down. Just take a stretch out for the moment. So your fingertips are going to go behind you and your feet are going to stretch away from you. And just take a nice deep breath in here. Excellent. I want you to bring your hands over to your sides now, and you're really going to anchor in with those palms of your hands, and then bring your legs into tabletop and then straighten them all the way up. And there can be a bit of a bend in here too, that's completely fine. I want you now to bring those legs down to 45 and then back up to straight. Bring down to 45 and then up to straight. The next time we're going to lift our bum into the air and do almost like a reverse crunch. And then back to 45. Really pushing in with those hands to help you lower those legs down. The next time, if you want to, I want you to bring your legs over. And once you're there, I want you to split your legs like a straddle position and then slowly rolling each vertebra down, nice and controlled, until we're at a 90-degree angle. And then go down even further and bring your legs together. We go again. We roll over, we split our legs, and then we slowly roll back down to the 90, then to the 45, and close our legs. Let's go for one more in this direction. We roll over, we split our legs, and we roll back down, closing our legs. Give yourself a couple of seconds here. We're going to go back out into that straight position, but we're going to straddle our legs, so split our legs at the beginning. we roll over, we push into the hands, we close our legs overhead, and then we slowly roll down, nice and controlled, going down to that 45 degrees, and then splitting our legs. Let's go for 2 more of these. Splitting our legs to the bottom. Last one, we roll over, we close our legs, and we roll all the way back down. And you can just do whatever feels good here. You can give yourself a little bit of a hip shaker. Ooh, that's my dog yawning, don't worry about her. I want you now to stretch your arms and your legs away from each other. I want you to bring your hands up towards the ceiling, and I want you to flex your toes towards the ceiling as well. I want you to bring your chin into your chest and then just lift off so your shoulder blades are off the ground, and then lower back down. We go again, chin to chest, we scoop up to our shoulder blades off the ground and lower back down. You can always pop a pillow under your upper back, and this will help as well with the next movement. So when we scoop up, I want you to then reach up towards your toes, pulsing 3 times, and then coming back to seating, and then bring your chin to chest and create that C shape with your curve, and then go down. Let's go again. Our toes flex towards the ceiling, our arms are up, chin to chest, we roll up towards our feet, we scoot down, trying to touch our toes, pulsing 3 times. We come back to seating, and then we roll back down, putting those heels of our feet into the ground to help us get back. Let's go for 1 more of these. Our hands go up, we lift up, we go towards our feet, pulsing 1, 2, 3. We come back to sitting, and then we lie all the way back down. And take a second here. We're going to do some sideline work now. So when you're ready, you can have a little break if you need. But I want you to lie down on your left-hand side, and your forearm is going to be facing the camera, and your shoulders are going to be nice and stacked on top of each other. So I don't want any slumping through the shoulders. Your shoulders are away from your ear. I want you to bring your legs into a 90-degree angle, and so your shins are facing the camera as well. I want you to lift up that top leg so it's parallel with the bottom leg, and then just lower back down. We go again. We lift up, and we lower back down. We lift up, we lower back down. The next time we lift up, we're going to clam our legs. We're going to open it even further, lower it down, and then lower back. Sorry, my dog's being a guard dog at the moment, right in front of my video. We lift up, we clam open, we go back, and we lower down. The next time we clam our leg open, I want you to draw a circle towards your face, away from your face, and then lower back down. We lift up. We do a circle towards your face, away from your face, and then lower back down. We go again. And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, we're not going to lower our leg all the way. We're going to keep it at hip height. We go up. We circle around. We circle away, and we lower back down. Let's go for 1 more of these. All right, just because we want to get the mind moving as well, we're going to lift up into that clam. We're going to bring it down to hip height. I want you to kick the foot away from you. Flex the foot, lift that leg up and lower, and bring into hip height, and come back down. So we lift up, we clam, we go to hip height, we point out, we flex the foot, lift up, lift down, and come back. Let's go for 2 more of these. We lift up, we clam, we go back to hip height, we point out, we flex, up, down, and return. One more here. We clam up. Lucy, that's enough. We've set all the alarms off now. And lower back down. I want you to bring that leg out straight out now. So your hips are stacked on top of each other. And just have a little check on your shoulders as well that they're not slumped down. I want you to lift that big toe towards the screen and tap. And then lift up and tap behind you. So you're drawing a rainbow shape with your toe. So if your rainbow shapes are a little bit littler today, that's fine as well, because it is pretty extreme on that right glute. But if you really want to extend yourself, lift that hip up and draw the biggest semicircle you possibly can. Let's go for one more in each direction. And lower back down, give yourself a little bit of a pat. I want you now to come onto your bellies. And I want you to put your fingertips by your head, but your forehead is on the ground. I want you to bend your knees and bring your heels together. I want you now to lift up a little bit and lower. So you're lifting from the hip and then you're lowering back down. And this can be a little bit intense on your hips too, so I can recommend putting a pillow underneath this as well. Beautiful. Go for 3 more of these. Last one. And then lower your legs down and the backs of your feet are on the ground. With your fingertips at your temples now, I want you to lift both your hands and your head and then lower back down. Just doing small little lifts at the moment. Alright, the next time we lift up, I want you to paint your eyelashes towards the ceiling, so you're looking up towards the ceiling. Your hands go to a T, they come back to your temples, and you lower down. We go again, we lift up, we look towards the ceiling, our hands go to a T, we come back, and we lower down. One more of these variations. The next time we lift up, we come to a T. See if you can reach your chest a little bit more towards the ceiling. I want you to bring your hands by your side and lift your legs up off the ground, pointing your toes, and then coming back down. So that's known as a boat pose. We go again. We lift our chest up, our arms go to a T, and as we bring our arms by our side, our legs lift up from the hips, so you're trying to get your thighs off the ground, and lower back down. Alright, so the next time we're going to do it for a little bit longer, so take a little second here to gain your breath. I want you to lift up, arms go to a T, and then stretch your arms back by your side, your legs lift off, your toes are pointed, your fingers are trying to reach your toes, and then you're painting your eyelashes up towards the ceiling, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering back down. You can put your head to one side, even rock your hips from side to side if that feels good. And when you're ready, we're going to set up for that sideline work on the other side. So your right hand side now, if you do it the same as me. I want your forearm on the ground, your shoulders are nice and stacked, your hips are stacked on top of each other, and you're bringing your shins towards the camera. So your legs are bent at 90 degrees. When you're ready, you can either put your hands here or on your hip, whatever feels good. I want you to lift that hip up and lower back down. So your legs are staying in parallel with each other. Beautiful. The next time you lift up, we're going to open that leg a little bit further. So we clam the leg and lower down. So it's almost like an external rotation of your hips for any of those nerds out there like me. Beautiful. The next time we clam open, I want you to circle your knee towards your face, away from your face, and then lower back down. Let's go again. We lift up, we clam. This is a little bit of a mental gymnastics, but I don't know about you, after all this lockdown, my mind's going to a party state. Beautiful. Let's go for one more of these. We rotate around and back and lower down. We're going to lift up now, and our legs are going to go into a clam. We lower to hip height. We point out. We flex the foot lifts up towards our face and back and lower down. We clam open, come back to hip height, we point out, we flex that foot lifts up and back down. Let's go for two more of these. I don't know about you, but this is hurting me. Pointing out, flex the foot, go up, go down, and return. Give yourself a second here. I want you to lift that leg up and point it out away from you. And just restack the shoulders as well. They're kind of slumped down. I want you to point that big toe towards the screen and then rainbow it over. And then touch back towards you. And you can let those hips move a little bit as well. Beautiful. Give me two more in each direction. We have a dog that lives underneath us that likes to talk to Lucy as well. So I apologize for any of the noises behind me or in front of me. And give yourself a little bit of a pat. I want you to come up now facing the camera, and I want you to split your legs however's comfortable. So just a bit more than hip height, or if you've got a little bit more flexibility, by all means, go a little bit wider. I want you to bring your toes towards your face so they're flexed, and your hands are going to go out into a T position beside you. I want you to first of all just twist to the left and come back, and then twist to the right and come back. As you twist to the left, I want you to bring your pinky finger to your pinky toe and pulse twice, and then come back all the way to center. We go on the right. We twist to the right, our pinky finger goes to our pinky toe like we're trying to saw it off, and we come back. This time, as you're pulsing, I want you to focus on the backhand. So it's high-fiving the ceiling. And this allows us to get a little bit more leverage in that frontward saw motion. Let's go for one more in each direction. Last one. And bring your hands by your side. I just want you to bring your legs together now. And we're going to do a bit more of a twisting action. So your hands are by your side, your feet are flexed towards your towards your nose. And I want you to twist to your left 2 times and back to center. So I don't normally do much cueing on breath, but in this movement, they suggest breathing out each time you twist to really try and accentuate that twisting motion. You really want to try and wring out all the water like you're being a towel. Let's go for one more in each direction. And give your shoulders a bit of a roll as well. So we've done all the hard work now for today. I want you to come back onto your backs. Bring your hands to a T and your legs to a tabletop. I want you to slowly bring them to the left-hand side, and then I want you to look towards your right and anchor in your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath here. And when you're ready, I want you to bring those legs back up to tabletop And now bring them over to the right hand side and look towards the left and really anchor in those shoulders and those hands. Bring your legs up and pop your feet on the ground for me. I want you to bring your right leg over to your left thigh. And you can keep it there if you want. You can even push a little bit onto your right leg. But if you want, you can bring your head up, bring your hands behind your left thigh, and bring it towards you for a bit more of an intense glute stretch. We did a lot of work today on our glutes. Pop your head back down, and we'll go again. So your left leg goes over to the right, and you can keep it there if that's okay today. If not, bring your hands through, and you can bring that right knee towards your face if you want to intensify that. And lower back down. All right, team, that's me all done for today. Again, any questions, shoot them my way. Would love to hear from you. And if you're interested in a one-on-one as well, I would love to see you on Zoom sometime soon. See you guys.